Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's all that we're talking about when it comes to health this month. Unintended consequences of mental health awareness. That's our topic. It's quite intriguing because I wanted to go on before you came on to start asking, but I said, nah, let's leave all the juice till you're here. Essie Ayebene is with us. She has been practicing as a counseling psychologist for over a decade, specializing in working with individuals in need with the primary objective of aiding clients in overcoming trauma and enhancing their mental resilience to combat mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and suicide ideation. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How does the awareness is necessary? How does it have unintended consequences? How is that even possible that there are consequences, that you can use that word, consequences, with
Yes.
mental health awareness?
As much as we want information about it and we're giving out information, there are some things that you can't just avoid.
Okay.
So for every positive, there's actually also a negative. That's where the balance lies.
Yin and yang, okay.
Yes, yes.
Balance, okay. So how is it so? How is it? Because you know, you think that there's some kind of positives, that there are no dark sides or there is no need to balance here. But what are these consequences you're talking about here?
So we tend to pathologize normal emotions. Instead of us to see somebody being sad as a normal reaction to a sad event, we just go straight and say the person is depressed. If something bad happens, definitely you'll be sad.
Okay.
And being depressed doesn't mean you have depression disorder.
Oh, it's a
different thing. Being anxious doesn't mean you have anxiety disorder.
Okay.
You like things being a particular order doesn't mean you have OCD. You just see people just giving labels, and I'm like,
oh yeah, labeling. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is one.
Yeah.
I like that now. Yes, I agree with you. Titi was just to mention something that you know, people use the word PTSD too. You know, they flippantly, as it were, you use some of these labels that are strong quite flippantly. But if I was to ask you, at what point do you think sadness gets into depression? If I just wanted to add, or a depression disorder, as it were.
One, it has to be properly diagnosed, right? But if one should actually look for help, is when your emotions, or you have gotten to a part where the emotion of sadness or that emotion of depression starts to impede your normal activities. So you can't do the normal things you used to do, or you have to now like prep yourself up. Things you love to do normally on a normal day, you find yourself finding it difficult to do them. Maybe you love watching movies, you just lose interest. There's an issue. But it could be explained. That's the thing. So when I say unintended consequence, if you focus too much on social media, there are consequences to that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it can lead to you losing interest in things you normally used to have interest
in doing.
There's something called doom scrolling, where you just stay online and spend sometimes 2-3 hours just going through videos, especially with YouTube shorts. Just keep going and going and going. Those things have effects on your mind. Waking up in the morning and the first thing you do is to check your phone, it has an effect on your mind. So just coming to tell you that, oh, you are depressed, that's not it. Maybe you just need to detox. Maybe you need to just take a break from social media. There are a lot of issues you should have. You know, to talk about movement, right? Maybe you're not even moving enough. Maybe you're not eating right. So instead of just going straight and saying, oh, this person has a problem and needs help, you make some lifestyle choices first and see if it works before.
But the one I'm sure that there's a problem and there's help is heartbreak. Wait, that's one you stole. That one is strong because...
The funniest thing, people recover differently.
Yeah. But that one is depression because you cannot even move.
It still depends.
It still depends. Okay, so it's not every time that it's fully...
So most times people go into depression or have mental health issues if they have unresolved trauma.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So there's no way life is going to be smooth. There are going to be issues.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I advocate for mental resilience, it's a positive coping mechanism. Instead of just advocating that you watch out and avoid issues. Somebody was asking me yesterday if there's statistics to show if singles are more happier than married couples. I said, I know you want to avoid problems, but see, there are happy people everywhere. Both singles
and both married. There are sad people everywhere.
Yes. And
single
if I tell
and
you
married.
One doesn't work or the other works, that doesn't change or help you either way. You understand?
Yeah.
So we tend to want to avoid problems. And yes, that's how we cope as a species, by avoiding issues and all. But in all, we cannot totally avoid problems. So your ability to bounce back, that's resilience. Your ability to, so heartbreak, because if you want to avoid heartbreak, then you don't go into a relationship at all. Because there's a chance for it. Even those that get married, there's a chance that they will get divorced.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's no certainty about life. What of the fact that we don't even know what happens tomorrow? You understand? Somebody here today might not be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So your ability to be able to cope with all these life issues that you can't plan for. Now, I don't know if I've said it recently, but I keep saying there are two things. One you can control, one you can't control. So you have to separate things you can't control from things you can't control. Anxiety comes from when you try to change things you can't control. For example, I'm coming here and I'm already late. I keep checking my phone. That's anxiety, right? I can't change the fact I'm already late. So what I do, I switch up my phone, and anytime I get there, I get there. Do you understand? It makes me more relaxed, but I keep checking my check. So I'm like, I'm suffering from anxiety, I'm having panic attack, and the real truth is I'm not managing my emotions. I
hope this is not digressing here. How about workplace depression?
It happens.
Because that one's a strong one also.
Yes.
So people are looking at me now.
An onset of burnout.
This one is not burnout. What if workplace depression, number one?
Yeah.
You say your salary is not enough. That's
it's never enough.
You think is that?
It's never enough.
Some people is enough, and then maybe you feel that you are doing.
Shocked.
You feel like you are doing more.
Yeah.
That some people feel like I'm doing too much more than this person. Different issues could cause that workplace depression and all of that. And there are some things that my producer say that's not depression.
Let me say sometimes.
What do you call it?
So sometimes what we actually term as depression is the fact that you don't have a long-term plan. So you are depressed about where you are because you can't see anything beyond it. Do you understand? So there are expectations for what work life is. A lot of us were given the wrong impression. You go to school, you get out, you get a job, you're fixed for life. Is that how real life works? It doesn't work that way. You get into a work environment, you're excited for the first 1, 2, 3 years. After a while, that excitement phases out. You need to have
something else.
Do you understand? Yeah. So sometimes it might just be you've burnt out your time in that space. Your mind wants you to push beyond where you are. That's why if we start talking about depression, this is how depression looks, we will misdiagnose a lot.
I understand that fully. Apart from labels, is there any other classification you want to mention when it comes to the consequences of mental illness, apart from labels?
One of the things I want to talk about is we need to improve our messaging. Like I said, we tend to talk about depression and not talk about depression disorder. So there are two different things. So we need to improve When does it enter disorder? Disorder is when, yes, you can't do your normal activities and impedes your everyday activities. Even up to brushing of teeth, taking a bath.
Yes. It's heartbreak. That one happens, You don't brush teeth.
That's what I'm saying. So having heartbreak. Let me explain something. I think I didn't get this clear. When you are having depression, most times is when you've actually run out of time. So normally you're depressed because something happens. And then after a while, definitely you should be able to bounce out of it. Yeah. When you can't bounce out of it, that's when depression is setting. So having heartbreak and being depressed is a normal thing. That's what I'm saying. We need to normalize these emotions. Being depressed for heartbreak is a normal thing. You shouldn't be happy.
Well, after a while, when you can't bounce back by yourself, it becomes a problem.
That's when there's a problem. Or somebody dies, and then the burial has been taken. Burial is for the living, not for the dead, actually. One of the things that burial does is to help you to move on.
Yeah, closure in some ways.
Closure. So after those things have happened and you still can't get out of it, then that person needs to seek for help. So it's not that every time we just start saying, if you can actually trace out this thing happened and it's causing this, you don't just rush and just diagnose like that. Yes, they might just need help. And most times when clients come to me, I think I said this last week, one of the things I first ask them is, what's your social connection like? Who do you have around you? A lot of people don't really need therapy. You just need someone to talk to. And because our space is so toxic these days, when I talk to you, you post on social media or it goes on your status, you now say something like, people should watch the kind of relationship they get into and you just know this person is talking about me. So people are now scared to speak up. A lot of times people actually have mental health issues because they lack social connection. One of the things we're losing in Africa is we used to have this communal sense of living. It takes a village, A lot of mothers are burning out because it no longer takes a village, it's only you.
It's only you, yeah.
You're on your own.
Yes, you might not be talking to even your next door neighbor.
You might not,
even know their name.
You might not be talking to your, it's that bad. You wake up in the morning, you don't even know what happened to your child the day before.
So social media has its parts to play in that one, majorly.
Exactly.
You know, because the world has become a smaller village due to social media, but at the same time, it's now so wide apart, even with somebody by your side. You can be so connected to the world and so far apart from somebody beside you.
Yeah.
So that's the irony with all of this.
No, but see, if you notice, as soon as I got in, I put my phone upside down. When I'm talking to someone, I unconsciously do that. I always put my phone face side down.
Face down. Wow.
So, and
That
put on
does.
the do not disturb. Pay attention to who you're talking to.
Wow.
That connection helps you. So it also helps to reduce your cortisol level. We talk about cortisol, stress hormone, right?
Wow.
It helps when you make social connection. It helps to bring that down. If we talked about the fact that during lockdown, you know that time we didn't have people around us. A lot of people had issues with depression and the rest. It's not like they didn't have issues before, but there were people they could talk to. Most Nigerians living, I have clients outside of the country. As soon as you leave the shores of Nigeria, you now realize that this thing that we have here, you don't have it over there.
Let's say it's always expository anytime we talk to you. Thank you for all of that you're doing. And of course, we're looking forward to having you as the rest of the month as we go on. Well done. Thank you very much. Hope you're able to learn one or two things there. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We will be back in a jiffy.